Arriving at Ilios. Initiating match.
All right, looks like we're gonna get into it.
Yep.
All right, what's going on, guys? I'm Brian, joined here by fellow
Leo
caster
Pinello.
Leo.
Yep. And we're from Marian University, Fond du Lac, and we're here to shoutcast for you guys today for the Fall 2019 Finals.
Should be a good time. Looks like the first game is going to be the Div 3 semifinals between the Real School and Bigfoot Academy. Bigfoot is from Bigfoot, Wisconsin, and Real is from Racine. And looks like we're getting our heroes selected here. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we're about to get the stream going here, I want to quickly remind you the competitive rooms are for competitive players only, like those that are playing right now. Please try to stay out of those rooms as much as possible while we're playing. That was a direct request from students that we had last year, was to limit the amount of people behind their shoulders and overwatching them. Because it was a distraction. So that's why we're having the stream here. If your students are playing Smash, if you go onto our website, we do have a link to Bayport's stream, which is in room A or pool A, and Edgewood is streaming to their Twitch page, so you can watch pool B play as well too. So that way we're trying to make sure that you can watch as many games as you want or specific schools that you want without having a bunch of bodies in there distracting them while they're trying to compete. So thank you for understanding. Appreciate it.
All right, sorry for that bit of delay there. Looks like the teams are already going at it on the first point at Ilios. Multiple contests coming out, just a lot of spam coming through the WIHSEA shields. And it looks like Port's going to get taken down in favor of the red.
Do we know which team is which?
A lot of contests coming through. No ultimates built up yet. Looks like red team will take the point. First bit of percentage taken on that objective there. And Bigfoot is on the red side, and Rio will be on the blue side as well.
No, it's not. It's actually the other way around. Bigfoot's right there.
Oh, we got the...
Yeah, I know. It's not easy to move those.
All right, sorry. It's actually the other way around. Bigfoot will be on blue, and Rio will be on red.
Looks like they got a little Sombra
Real's got
sticking around
control
here.
of the point right now. Pushing Bigfoot back. Ryan coming in, smacking away on the Sombra. Going to TP out to safety. Looks like Blue's just going to regroup. Sombra's trying to get out of here. Red's slowly taking up on the point, already almost 50%. But there are ultimates coming online. We'll see if they're able to take it back. Almost got Hammond ultimate up. We have the EMP. Nothing to really combo it with yet, unfortunately. Trying to get a bit of harassing here. We're going to see the contest come out. There's the EMP. See if we can get anything done with it. But Red is going to hold with a beautiful Orisa grab into the well.
Oh, mics are cold.
Got to turn the mics up.
Oh.
Use this. Turn this up. It's not playing.
We're working on the volume right now, so bear with us. We got it to work earlier, and technology.
Just put it on someone to follow.
All right, we were told that the mics are a little bit quiet. Hopefully that fixed it a little bit. We do have the Deadeye and the Valkyrie available, but both McCree and Mercy are going to get taken out. Just a beautiful hold by the red team on the point.
That's live. So if
That's
you hold
live?
that up to your mouth, they can at least hear you and what's going on.
Okay. Do you want me to use this instead?
No, use both. Use both. Just hold the one close to your mouth and then just...
You just hold it to your mouth and cast it like that.
Are you comfortable?
Yeah, we can do it.
If not, I'll step back.
Leo, are you going to want to participate in the casting at all here?
Get the most part, but
Hey, alright.
All right, there we go. Now we got game sound going on.
I was going to say, if they just want the game volume or if you want to do it, that's fine.
We can cast, it's fine. Okay. Which team was on which side again? I already forgot.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is in blue.
It's the opposite. Okay.
Oh, I could probably change that too.
All right, Bigfoot's going to come in for the overtime contest on there. Jedi's going to go through. Only manages to pick off one Coalescence coming through from Real's side. A lot of spam being exchanged. McCree manages to catch Moira with the stun, but she's going to fade out of there. Does get the pick eventually, though. Looks like they're pushing him slowly off the point. They should be able to take this contest back. Oh. Beautiful shot from McCree there.
Oh, drop it. Just from here.
Close.
There. Okay.
Looks like Real does have a couple of ultimates coming back to contest the point, though. See if they can use that sound barrier to potentially survive. EMP could cause problems for him, though. Looks like they're coming from the side. The EMP goes through. A lot of damage coming through. Kills being exchanged on both sides. Real close. Hanzo's coming through with the McCree kill. See if they can take out the Sombra. Not quite going to get it with the TP over there. But no ultimates have been burned from the side of Real yet. Looks like they're just saving up, trying combo, potentially get an Earth Shatter, maybe with that Death Blossom that's coming up. For now, though, percentage is evening out. Looks like it's going to come down to the overtime contest between both teams. Sound barrier going to come through a little bit preemptively there. There's the Earth Shatter. Doesn't look like it quite connects. Deada's going to bring things back. Not quite a super effective Death Blossom for it. Again, more spam coming through. Arisa's going to yank Reinhardt into the well. That's huge. Still contesting going through. Looks like Real's going to take a little bit of the advantage here, slowly pushing Bigfoot off the point. And they're going to be able to secure it. Beautifully done.
Real take round one.
Okay.
I'm a little too focused on the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say I was struggling with solo casting over here. Are you going to want this one?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, as we're moving into round two between the Real High School, who leads 1-0 right now, against Bigfoot. As we are about to move in, starting off round number 2 on the attack here. Thank you. Moving in on the attack, and we are about to get started with the round as the hatch is about to open, and the objective is open for the attack. How do you think this is going to be able to set up for Bigfoot to try to tie up this map?
We'll see if they're going to be able to. Looks like Real is pulling out the Doomfist and the Batiste. Should be kind of interesting. We'll see if they can get through that Mei and Zarya combo there. Reinhardt going to start off with a beautiful kill, but can't deal with the spam. Gets taken out. Looks like they're going to grab control of the point.
That control point is about to open up as we are contesting here for the first. For the point, trying to get something, and it's not looking good for Bigfoot. 2-on-4, or they're getting into the point. This is getting so 3-on-1, and they are going to. It's still contested, trying to get some type of damage onto it, and Bigfoot is having some trouble getting their members in as Real has control of the A site, and they are going to start with their capture phase.
Another beautiful capture for Rio right off the bat. They did manage to build up that Mei ultimate on the Bigfoot side, though. We'll see if they're going to be able to use that to try and take the point back. Might wait for Coalescence to come up. For now, just a bit of spam being exchanged, barriers being placed. Bigfoot's keeping control of the point. We'll see how Real plans to take their attack, take it back.
They're going to have to make that attack quickly as they're moving up into 25% into the site and looking to take a 2-0 lead on map number 1. And right now they are bringing it right to Bigfoot as Bigfoot sentry turret's knocked out. Nothing going here so far here for Bigfoot as another one is taken out. A 5-player kill streak now.
Yeah, pretty good hold from them. They do have a bit of ultimates built up, though. We'll see if they're going to be able to use them to take back that point. That Blizzard, Earth Shatter combo can be pretty devastating. No real damage ults besides maybe the Coalescence to combo it with. Looks like they're most likely going to burn them coming in here. We'll see if they're able to take them out.
We'll see if they can take them out. We're moving up, getting close to 2/3 of the way in, and now now finally for Bigfoot got some type of contest as onto the capture point and get the kill streak, and they are going to start their capture phase and get on the board here in this map.
Yeah, burning all 3 ultimates to do it. Beautiful combo of ults there. Symmetra Shield to block off anything that could go through to contest that Blizzard and Earth Shatter, and then they just mop up the rest, what's left over. Beautiful take back, but now again there are 4 ultimates up for real, so we'll see if they're able to use those to take it back. You have to imagine they're going to be able to. That's a lot of damage that can come through with the Batiste ult as well as the supercharger from WIHSEA. Zarya ult's going to come through, see if anything can happen with that. Not a lot of picks being exchanged. There is the May freeze though. Batiste ult's going to be popped.
And they're going to be using those. They got 3 ultimates coming up and only 1 here for Bigfoot. And stun comes in 2 on 4, 5 on 1. And the Real School is going to take back the site, and they're going to continue on their capture phase as they move in quarter of the way left. And with 3 ultimates to none, it looks like they could be in trouble here for Bigfoot as they might go down 2-0.
Yeah, that was a beautiful take. They managed to do it using only the Batiste and the Batiste ultimate and the sound barrier from Lucio. Still have those 3 ultimates to try and make this defense on with only the Earth Shatter up for Bigfoot. We'll see what they're able to make happen. That's not going to be a good start. Reaper's picking off the Symmetra before the contest even comes through. There's the Earth Shatter though, and then just clean up the invulnerability field, keeping them alive.
And that is going to be real trouble here, and it's going to be the Real School taking a 2-0 lead here on map number 1. And now we need some type of... What are you going to do here if you are Bigfoot to try to do something to try to come back and maybe try to keep this map going, as is going to be 1-0, and try to tie up this series right now?
Yeah, we'll see what game plan they're able to formulate for it. Just looking like they couldn't get that early contest ever against the point. It looked like it was Real taking it every single time, and that just enabled them to win out on the ult trades and just keep that lead ahead for them.
We're going to see how it plays up on New Bonnie here for map number 2, as the teams are about to get ready, and we are about to be right back as we get ready for round number 2 here. But here's we're actually going to move over between the Real High School and Bigfoot. Okay.
Now entering King's Row. Initiating match.
All right, guys, we are back for map number 2 here between the Real High School and Bigfoot. Right now, they are assembling the heroes for both teams. Right now, it is a 1-0 lead for the Real High School in blue. Bigfoot is in the red. Oh wait, I have that backwards. Bigfoot is in the blue, and the Real High School is in the red for this round. And we got our heroes assembled. We are about to start the match in 30 seconds. How do you tie this series back up if you're Bigfoot?
If you're Bigfoot, you have to defend that first point. You can't let them get onto even the payload part of this objective. Otherwise, I have to feel that with Real's pretty good advantage at taking things early, that they're just going to be able to maintain that lead and close out the series.
That's going to be trouble if they're able to maintain that lead. That's going to be real trouble if you... without maintaining that lead, maybe there will be something for Bigfoot to be able to try to come into this matchup, as they are already underway and pushing towards the objective.
Interesting choice on the Junkrat here for real. A lot of spam coming through to try and take that point, maybe break through those barriers. It seems to be working for them. A lot of damage coming through. Those barriers are looking pretty beat up. They've shoved them off the point, and another pick. It looks like it's going to be a very early point grab for Bigfoot.
And that is big.
Or for real.
That is a big start. Good start right there. Made some adjustments during the intermission, and it is working out for them as they are going to take this objective and start onto the payload.
And already 71% on that Junkrat ultimate. It just shows how much damage was really coming through there when they first took the point. They should see if they're able to maintain that ult advantage and just carry over to the first checkpoint, although that is quite a long distance on King's Row. We'll see if they're able to maintain that the whole time. Actually going to swap out to the Bastion instead, so I take it back.
See how that choice plays out for real, and see how they're going to be able to try to defend this. And this as the payload continues to move down. Now near the Real High School, putting together an effort here, and now it's going to be trouble here for Bigfoot.
Yeah, they've already gotten 2 picks, and they're just being forced off, slowly marching towards the checkpoint. They only have Coalescence up currently. Oh, but it looks like they've got the Amplification Matrix and the Bongos up for WIHSEA. Well, looks like they're probably going to make their stand right on the point here. We'll see if they're able to do anything. Coalescence is going to be popped. We'll see if the Rhine gets a chance to use the Earth Shatter. A lot of barriers, though. Not much going to be able to really be done. Coalescence keeping him alive for now, but the Bastion damage is a lot. Slowly being pushed back ever towards that point. And it just looks like there's not really going to be able to be any contest for it. Easy cleanup for real.
They're trying to keep the contesting out, but it's really not helping out Bigfoot at all right now as they continue just to move this payload further and further down. And they got a lot of time left before they have to try to move this payload down. And Bigfoot is in trouble already here in map number 2. And they're going to have to put together a tough defense and make sure it's down for the next 5 minutes to be able to keep that payload from going to the end.
Massive EMP comes out, though. That allowed him to pick off quite a few, stall that point out. We'll see if they're able to mount a solid defense from this point now that they finally halted the momentum of Real a little bit. And even on the hybrid map, as they did with the King of the Hill one, just Real coming off to a strong start that they seem to do consistently over Bigfoot. We'll see if there's able to be any defense being mounted here. The team's going to group up again, and Real does have that Coalescence and the Supercharger, but it's going to be popped in return from Bigfoot. Beautiful Earth Shatter prevents that from going through, though. Again, just the Bastion spam is so strong. It's very hard to contest that, and it looks like Real's just going to clean up on it.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to contest with 4 members out of the game quickly, in quick succession. They are bringing the payload right to the finish, and this could be it. The Real School could finish this off here. They got lots of time. And they do not need to rush this at all.
Whole hog being popped, but it's not going to be enough to contest, and Real steamrolls their attack phase. We'll see if Bigfoot's able to replicate that on theirs. That's an impressive run to beat.
That is absolutely impressive as a match there for Real, and they're going to have to how they're going to assemble their own heroes to try to move this payload in the other direction. Actually, because right now that did not work out on the defense for Bigfoot, and they are having trouble with the defense, and in general they're having trouble with the Real School right now, and they need to change something quick. Well, they're going to be down 2-0 in this series, and you do not want to be down 2-0 in quick succession.
Absolutely not. That's not where you want to be. I'm curious if Bigfoot is going to pull out their own Bastion, or if they have a different strategy that they're trying to go with for this attack on King's Row. That seemed to be pretty unstoppable, is just hiding behind the double barrier, waiting for all those ults to come through, and then just cleaning up. For the first point, at least, though, doesn't look like it's going to be. It's going to be like kind of a juggernaut coming through for it. We'll see what they're able to do.
We'll see what we're able to do. We just switched around the logos to correct the logos. They were made incorrectly on throughout the beginning of this match. They are now correct. Bigfoot is in the blue, and the Real High School is indeed in the red. As we are about to get started, they have made the hero picks. Any interesting picks do you see?
All looks pretty standard so far that I can see. That Mei might be very annoying to deal with on the first point. She can just cause so much chaos, separate the team with the wall, freeze off the high-profile targets. But they do have the Reaper, though, which might be decent at breaking through, especially with the Lucio speed up. And if Zarya can get fully charged, we'll see how it plays out.
Let's see how this plays out for the first match here, and they're bringing it quickly here. And right now, they are not getting too much started. It is already contested a little better start than what it was for their defense or Bigfoot. They already got the contest ready to go, but
already you see the power of that Mei coming through on that initial push. First that separation from the wall, and then just the continuous slow and CC on the Reinhardt. There's nothing you can do about it. Even the Batiste all going to be popped to just clean up here, try and hold this first point. Reaper's going to clean it up on the Zarya, and just a nice hold from Rio.
It's a nice pull for Rio right there. Definitely something there to look forward to. And Bigfoot's got to get an attack going on right now. Is there any changes they could make to try to push this Rio defense back and get some part of the objective taken?
I think you have to wait for the Death Blossom to come up. You might be able to get it off just the single Earth Shatter, but it's going to be so hard with all the barriers as well as the Mei. She can just wall that off. Oh, but it looks like they're going to pop the Earth Shatter. Rein goes in, gets the pick. Not quite, actually. The Immortality Field going to keep it alive. Return Earth Shatter coming through. Graviton Surge. A lot of damage being exchanged both ways. Even the Symmetra all being popped as well. Got in the middle of the fight. It could go either way right now. They're going back and forth. And Death Blossom is going to be up. That might be enough to take it, waiting out the Blizzard.
This could be enough to take it. Only one left in the zone, and they're going to be able to get the objective and start on their payload.
Yeah, and they just chained ults together on that one. Started off with the Earth Shatter, knew the other ones were almost up, and then they just chained them back and forth. A lot of damage coming through, and just with those long respawn times on the defense, that was a solid point take from Bigfoot. They needed that because they were already behind in time, and they need to just march this payload down.
That worked out for them as Cordiop was picked off there by the Real School, and they are continuing to move their payload forward. Or they got about 4 minutes. They need to replicate this if they want any chance of winning this map. Without it, they're going to go down 2-0, and they can't do that as they get a double elimination there for Bigfoot, a 2-for-1, and the pair of ultimate comes up. 3 ultimates ready for the Real School.
Yeah, and Real just choosing to hold on to all their ults right there. They knew that they had gotten picked off 2 of their supports with the Reaper Death Blossom, and I mean, at that point you just concede it. I like the decision to hold the ultimates. Let's see if they're able to contest this first point with them.
See if they can do that. Keep this a 3-1 scoreline here in map number 2, and they're going to. Seems like they're going to try to do that, and it is not moving any.
Pops the Batiste ult. Not much damage coming through though. A lot of healing from the Mercy, a lot of reduction from the barriers. But the Earth Shatter does get mostly stopped. And they're putting up a pretty solid fight so far. Rez is going to come through on the Symmetra. But it looks like Real's putting up the defense, the Coalescence especially. Yeah, just holding them back, no problems whatsoever. Only have the sound barrier on the Bigfoot side. That's going to save you, but there's no damage that can come through, and especially not against these tanks like the WIHSEA with so much healing on her. Nice hold.
Especially the amount of healing that they have up there, and now they're gonna have to go through the attack just to get to their own payload. Now, and that is going to be a monumental waste of time that they're gonna have to use up to be able to get back to it, and they're gonna need that time to move to try to get the tie here. And see how Bigfoot tries to develop this attack.
Beautiful Graviton Surge coming out from the Zarya. The Batiste tried to place the Immortality Field, but there's just so much concentrated damage. I believe that was a 5-man Graviton right there. That was insane. Beautiful take coming in from Bigfoot.
That is a beautiful play right there, and Bigfoot is going to keep moving. They get their second point. They got a little over 3 minutes left to go to try to get this third push right here. They've got a pair of ultimates ready to go. Oh, and a third one is on the way.
Trying to get a cheeky Earth Shatter. He's coming down, brings down the hammer, gets 4 people with it. Let's see if they can clean up on that. Kills coming through left and right. We'll see if that's enough for them to take the point. They should be able to clean it up. The defense should be staggered, and it should be close enough for them to pick this up. I believe they've done it.
They have. Bigfoot has redone the attack and done the same thing to Real as they have done to them. Both teams getting all 3 points on their attack in the payload round.
Oh. Yeah, great retaliation.
We are about to assemble our heroes for both teams as we move into the third and decisive round here for map number 2 here on Kings Row between the Real High School and Bigfoot as we are about to get started. What? All right, there we go. As we move into round number 3, as we are about to get the F7, and we're going, and we are waiting for the round to start, or to get these players out into the area of play and begin the attack.
I'm curious if Bigfoot is going to stick with the Bastion, taking the control point. That might be kind of difficult to get into position, but if they can manage to do it, it could do a lot of damage for him. We'll see if they're able to pull it off. Maybe some cheeky Symmetra teleports to get him up somewhere.
See how that play is out as we move into the decisive overtime here for now number 3 between Bigfoot and the Real School, and they are moving in right away, and they're going to try to go for part of the capture. They don't even have a contest on there.
Immediately shoving Bigfoot, or shoving Real back off the point, but the Reinhardt is going to get zoned out by that Mei wall. Again, so good at zoning off these teams from each other, and you can see just the effect it's having, but it looks like Bigfoot's going to turn it around. The Bastion has again managed to get to that elevated position, and he's just dishing out damage. Mercy's even going to throw in the res for good measure, and that should be a point take for Bigfoot.
And that will give the point over to Bigfoot, and it's going to allow them to start on the payload. As they get this start, and they have got their first point in this overtime round.
Yeah, solid take from him. We'll see if they're able to march that payload down. This is where that Bastion truly becomes strongest, I feel, because you can just set up on that payload, just march right behind the barriers. But there is a lot of return fire coming through. That Rhine barrier is going to get popped pretty low, just backing off a bit, waiting for their ultimates to come up. That Symmetra one's going to be popped. Earth Shatter's going down, and it should be a cleanup.
There's going to get the double kill, the triple kill, and there's 3 out there for the Real School. Now 4, and they're going to be able to ask it this payload quite a good ways down onto that second point only before the Real defense. And it's going to probably mesh up around there to try to deny that second point to make it easier when they are on the attack, when they don't have to move it as far.
Yeah, and Bigfoot's still marching through. They have that Graviton Surge that worked so well for them for taking this first point last time. Earth Shatter going to prevent it from happening, at least momentarily. The T-Salt as well, and the Blizzard for good measure. Just not even going to be able to capitalize off of it. It's going to be a solid defense from Bigfoot, or from Real.
30 seconds remaining.
There are still a few ultimates up on Bigfoot's side, though, since they got picked off so early in that fight. They didn't really get a chance to capitalize off of them. Couple up for Real here. I think it's all going to come down to the Earth Shatter from Bigfoot's side. Honestly, if it hits, I can see them wiping this, but if it doesn't, then that Death Blossom and Supercharger combo could be pretty deadly for them.
Try to get it there with a couple seconds left. They got to contest. They got to keep it moving. It's going to be trouble if they don't get anything going. They got the attest. Couple down here, 3 down here for Bigfoot. Overtime is ticking down, And they got it, and they are unable to move the payload, and they cannot complete the objective. They only get 1 point out of that as we switch sides in the overtime round.
That's a real bad feeling if you're Bigfoot. You hit that 4-man or shatter, but just Batista Mortality Field prevents it from happening.
Starting to pull some door prizes here. So we've actually got some names up here on the back wall. So if you want to see if you're a winner, we've listed your name, and Nathan will hand you a prize.
Ooh, prizes sound good. Sounds good prizes. Do you get your door prizes? Do you get your door prize tickets?
Not yet.
All right, good luck. Let's see who won. On this, we are about to deassemble the heroes, and now we got a little bit over 30 seconds left to go before the real school comes out on their attack and try to push us onto objective of A to make sure that they can at least tie this up and then move into the point on their payload to try to win this match.
And it looks like Bigfoot's going to stick with the Bastion even on defense while Real is choosing to go with the Pharmacy combo. That is an interesting matchup because Bastion can shred Pharah very quickly, but Pharah does have the ability to outflank the Bastion as he's obviously a very immobile hero. We'll see how that plays out and what they're able to accomplish with it.
We'll definitely have to see how this plays out with their attack. And they are going in right away as they take out the sentry turret, and they are moving in towards the alpha objective.
Real trying to make their way through the choke point. That Symmetra TP coming in useful again, getting that Bastion to the elevated position. Gonna break through the Rhine Shield. Can't deal with the return fire coming through though from the other Bastion. And it looks like Bigfoot's gonna be able to at least stave off that first push on the point.
Is going to try to work out for them, and they are not in yet. They're trying to move in. 62% already for BPD3 for his objective, but there's way more or ultimate progression in for Bigfoot, and they're going to have their ultimates first, which might make it a decisive advantage as they can use it at a different point later on in the match.
Absolutely. You see the ult charge not even built up at all for Real's side, which is going to make it very hard to crack into this point. Doomfist Stun going to come through. A lot of spam coming through. Lantern's going to be destroyed. This time they're being forced bend to the back right. It's going back and forth, but it looks like Real is going to be able to take the point. Nice collapse on them. Even without that ult advantage, they're still able to take it.
As that was a defense that did not work at all for Bigfoot, and they're going to get the capture, and it's going to be at least a tie on that round. And now the Real School is going to try to win it.
And that's a real weight lifted off your shoulders if you're Real, because you have all that pressure of you have to at least take that control point, let alone get farther than they pushed that payload last time. So that's a good first step for them. We'll see if they're able to push this payload here, see what kind of defense can be mounted. Electing to go with the Roadhog and Reinhardt combo for the defense. We'll see how that pays off for him.
With that first objective, they get rid of that pressure right there as they continue to move the payload closer to their winning objective. And they are shredding right through the defense of Bigfoot. 4 are taken out. Make that 5, and it could be all 6 here for Bigfoot as one just respawns as the team is respawning. And it's going to be even easier now for the Real School as they continue to move the payload even closer to the winning objective.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're even going to be able to contest this one. They're going to get up there, but they're very staggered, and they might be able to just funnel them in through here. Hammond's going to make that a little bit easier, though. Reaper just destroying the Reinhardt, though. That's so brutal if you're the Rein. There's nothing you can do about it.
Can they get that to move?
Getting rid of that
4
pesky
taken out,
hamster
make
off the
that
point.
5. They respawn, and the Real School takes back 2 on Kings Row, and they lead 2-0. Our player of the game for game number 2 is Singer from the Real School. We'll take the MVP for map number 2, And now Bigfoot is in trouble. They need to win the next 3 maps. How do you get that? Trying to do that 1 map at a time.
That's really all you can do. You're already down 2 maps at this point. You just got to dig down and really focus on winning each individual one specifically. You got to come in with a plan. You got to execute it, and you got to take it 1 map at a time.
I mean, you gotta take this 1 map at a time. You gotta use that intermission that they have to try to recollect together and try to find a different strategy that might work for them in round number 3 in this escort match.
Yeah, they're trying to fix it right now.
Matches. We will be right back for map number 3 of the Division 3 Overwatch semifinals between the Rio High School and Bigfoot.
Since we're going to be loading into Dorado on this last map, no, actually it's going to be Route 66, my mistake. Either way, it will be a full payload map this time, so we're getting the full gamut of game modes here for him. And we'll see if that can maybe give an advantage towards Bigfoot as they desperately need it, down 2 maps again. We'll see what they can come up with and what they're able to execute and try and take this map away from Real.
We're about to assemble the heroes for round number 3. And we are about to get started. Alright, 40 seconds before or the teams are allowed out, and the attack is about to begin. And Bigfoot needs something big early. They do not want to be in the hole in map number 3 to start off.
Looks like they're going to have the Australian duo with Roadhog and Junkrat on the defense. A little bit of Symmetra turrets coming at it too. We'll see what they're able to make happen with that. Real's going to be the one running the Bastion this time on the offense. Could be work good because, again, it is that full payload map, especially with that Batiste. All that can be so much damage coming through from the turret form. The trick is getting it in position and set up, which they don't have a Symmetra of their own, so we'll see if they're able to do it.
They are about to begin, and they are moving the payload. In this escort court round. And Bigfoot trying to get the defense going, and right now they are doing pretty well to start off as they take out a saturated turret.
Yeah, electing to hold at this natural choke point form, but Doofus is going to come in and pick off their healer immediately. That's going to be huge. That could sway the fight already right there. Trying to get away from that Symmetra. Chasing around, kind of their own separate battle going on. Real slowly pushing Bigfoot back though. Gonna round the corner, and that's a big win for them, just getting through this first choke point.
They're going to continue to move it down. That worked out for them for Real as they continued this attack to try to move it down. And to see how this developed with the champion composition that the Real School has put together.
Junkrat taking the high ground on the roof. That his grenades real deadly to deal with. You can already see how much damage is coming through from this position. It's so hard to deal with because he just pops in and out. Beautiful air shot there on that Batiste. The tank fort's going to come out to the Bastion just for a little bit of cleanup. But the Earth Shatter might turn things around. A lot of return fire coming out from Bigfoot, and it looks like they're going to be able to hold it even with that elevated position and the Batiste. Just nothing that Real can get done on that push.
And they put together a great composition to be able to stop that payload right in the spot. And it's working out for them as they are going to prevent them from taking the first point. And it's going to reduce time here for Real as they're going to have to waste time trying to just get to the payload, and move their objective onto the first point.
And it looks like there's going to be a lot of ultimates up for the fight here. Real's got a bunch of them coming up, not quite up yet though, so we'll see if the early pop from Bigfoot is going to be able to change that. Curious to see how this Riptire is going to be used in the fight, but there are so many ults up for Bigfoot, and here's going to get popped. See if they can pick off any high-profile targets here, like the Mercy. Going to get the Orisa with it. That also is super helpful. Bastion again, though, providing just so much return fire on it.
Not gonna work out, and 5 for taking it out, and that should be able to move it on to the first point for Real, and they're gonna get on board.
Yeah, it looks like the supports were taken out even before they could pop both those defensive ultimates, and that was ultimately the turning point in that fight there. I bet if we could have got a sound barrier from that, there might have been a bit more contest, but at least they have them up for the future pushes. See if they're able to hold them through again, an even worse choke point than that first one.
Hold this up, moving it down. They got first point. Gives them some extra time to be able to move from objective to objective. You get an extra 2 minutes for every. Oh my goodness! What a shot! My goodness! How did you get that?
Extreme displays of talent being showcased. This is why they are in the semifinals after all. And again, yeah, just for people who may not be as familiar with Overwatch, you're trying to push this cart all the way to the end of the map. Each tick you see in the top middle on that bar gives them a bit more time to try and progress that objective. The defense is trying to prevent them from doing so. Currently,
that
Bigfoot
worked
is on
out
their team.
really well there. Huge attack that could be momentum changing if they can get it correct, and they certainly did.
It's especially brutal because it closes off that main door through for that choke point. They're all the way pushed up here, but there's no one pushing the payload, so they just kind of have to win a fight here. Got to get someone back on there to push it up towards this contestable position. Doomfist is going to get the Lucio, though. That's a huge pick. Could be a lot of healing. Riptire is going to come through and find... I'm not even sure what that icon is.
Yeah, they're going to take it out. 4 ultimates. Almost ready to make that 5, and they're going to use them up. Oh, he's got the kill streak there. 5, take it out for Bigfoot, and that is a huge play there from Royal High School.
Insane plays by Singer on the far. A lot of damage coming out there, and just beautiful wipe. They should be able to have one more contest, though, on the Bigfoot side before this point is taken. We'll see if they're able to use anything. They have the sound barrier and the Symmetra ult. Got the Earth Shatter to go with it, too. They should be able to combo this fairly well. There comes the Symmetra.
They got to move right onto the objective. Couple take it out. Take it out. Gets one back. You still got those 3 ultimates being used. Bigfoot's using a couple up. Knocks one out. They're moving back up, and this objective is still contested. As they're trying to push in, rushing in into the objective. And they are holding those ultimates there for Real High School, trying not to use them up, and they're going to move in to take point number 2, and they just need to move the payload to the end to get all 3 points and finish off their half of map number 3.
Yeah, that was very well done from Real, picking off that Reinhardt before he's ever able to get a decent Earth Shatter opportunity. That was really their only offensive ultimate that Bigfoot had going for them, and it's just smart play to recognize that. Lara does have Barrage, though. We'll see if she's able to get into a position to use it. It can be so difficult to get that ultimate off without getting immediately picked off, though.
That's a smart play. They're using right there, and they're continuing to move down. I'm not going to be able to break that defense yet, as they get a couple of ultimates there for Bigfoot. One more is about to come on, make that 3. He's getting really close. This could be a huge ultimate advantage. It could be 5 ready to go for the Real High School. As they're right now, they could use this to change this and push Bigfoot down to the end, and they're going to try to use these time to get up. Bigfoot's got a couple. They got 3. They got 4, 5, and they're going to stop them right in their tracks and not be able to move them any further. And Bigfoot is going to try to finish off the clock and run it out, as Real might only get 2 on this.
And not only did they manage to get that stop, but they managed to do it without burning through a large amount of their resources, too. Excellent heads-up play for the Sombra and the McCree combo on that far, prevent her from ever getting in the position to use her ult. We'll see which ones come through here. They're able to do anything. Oh, there's the Deadeye, and that's just a lot of damage. Should be able to clean it up on the Bigfoot side, and another push prevented from Real. This time they did invest quite a few ultimates, but they still have some in the bank, and they look to be in a pretty good spot to try and hold this point.
Yeah, that attack did not work out. And now with 30 seconds left, you got 3 ultimates. could they make one last push to try to push it down maybe to the end?
Yeah, with the time running low, you kind of have to commit all your resources here. The Valkyrie is going to be popped. We'll see if we see an Earth Shatter into Barrage combo. There is the EMP, though, could provide problems, and there it goes through. Not a lot of damage being followed up on it. Oh, never mind. I take it back. Bigfoot coming through and absolutely shredding Real. Another push prevented. Well done to hold that corner from Bigfoot.
That
there.
is a huge stab after bleeding, eating area and allowing that payload to move down. They made a huge stop right inside that third area and making sure they cannot get all 3 points. And now they can move down and get one of those maps back and make this a 2-1 series.
And that's exactly what we were talking about that they would need if you're Bigfoot. You make that impactful stop on defense, and now you have a real opportunity to take it to them on offense and try and take this map away from them.
That is exactly what they need. We're assembling heroes. We got 10 seconds left before we get the heroes, and they are going to set up the defense for both sides.
See if either side changes up their hero selection here. Looks to be pretty standard across the board. We're seeing a lot of the same. Electing to keep that Sombra on the Bigfoot side. It worked out fairly well for them on defense. So see if they're able to utilize it on offense. Same thing with the McCree. We did see some nice play from the Sombra McCree combo there. Hacking and then just the absolutely insane DPS that comes from that Cowboy.
All right, see how did they set this defense up as they move down as Bigfoot's just trying to get this payload moving down out from that area to the door over there to get their first point, and then move it further down to get points number 2 and 3.
Reaper wasting a lot of his shotguns, throwing them on the roof there, getting ready for this defense to come through.
And they're underway, 4 minutes on the clock and ticking to determine who is going to move down and make this a close affair and maybe break in this series within 1.
And it looks like Real's going to elect to give him that corner, electing to hold just on top of the roof, give him a slightly stronger position. I don't like that because they know they need to push fairly far to get through it, and it looks like they're going to be able to get the pick doing so. Going to be able to hold off Bigfoot on the first initial push, just some picks coming through even without the use of the ultimates, and good cleanup. Sombra is trying to escape from the back lines, and we'll see what Bigfoot does on their next push.
Let's see what they can do about that. Not much moving forward here for Bigfoot, and now they're moving it a little bit further down, and the defense is going to be pushed closer to that first objective, and now they're going to continue to move down. They get 1. Ultimate comes up for Real, and not going to get too much out of it. They try to get a flag in the tunnel, and it's not going to work. Not going to get too much out of that.
Looks like we got dual Earth Shatter from both teams.
All right, we are back. They get the pin on their 5 ultimates ready to go for Real, and they're just going to hold on to those.
You can absolutely tell that the call was to hold on to him. They had already lost 3 people. They knew they weren't going to be able to contest this point. They might be able to if they choose to try and race towards it. We'll see. They might be able to hit the 5 ultimate with 72% of the ERISA. Almost picked off of the Symmetra. Looks like they're going to get them
Picked off, and they're going to try to use them out. And they got 1. There's 2. They're going to get 3. And they're going to be able to contest this objective. They got a couple knocked out. Huge play here for Real High School as they continue to knock down clock time and be able to prevent them from getting on the board.
Only using 3 of the ultimates that they had in the bank too gives them decent ability to contest any future pushes Bigfoot might try and mount, because again, they also only have 3 ultimates, so it's going to come down to the better execution of them. Again, Bigfoot really needs this push. They are already down 2 maps in the series. They need to get past the second point on this payload map, so they really need this offensive push to work here. We'll see if they're able to make Coalescence work. The Peter popped already, but the EMP is going to come through, preventing a lot of abilities from going through there. And just a lot of damage coming out from Bigfoot. It looks like they're probably going to be able to take this point off of that. Beautiful play with the ultimates, and only needing that 2 combo with the Coalescence and the EMP.
They're going to take the first point and open up the gate for the second section in this map, and they already got to the fence set up and ready to go. They're at the blast right through that, got the shield. Shield's up, moving down.
Always a good feeling on Reinhardt when you get those super sniper fire strikes going through. Does have the Earth Shatter up in combo with the barrage from Pharah. Also a disgusting combo. We'll see if they're able to execute it effectively. They do have the sound barrier on Real's side, though, to try and cancel out a lot of that damage. We'll see how it's able to play out, burning through barriers on both teams.
Let's see how they execute this one. They get one knocked out. Another knocked out, a couple eliminated. They got 5 taken out. Huge play here for Bigfoot High School.
And there's that combo. They actually elected to use the barrage before the Earth Shatter even. I think it drew Real's attention away from the big hulking Reinhardt in front of them, trying to hit the source of all those missiles coming through, but they just get comboed from the air and the ground. Nothing they can do to try and contest that.
Yeah, contest that. Use the ultimate now, and they're gonna knock out a couple. That's a huge play there from Real High School. 5 knocked out, and they're gonna reset up the offense. Huge play here from Real High School.
Big stop right before the point, which would again give them that additional time in order to try and get past where Real has taken the part. Bigfoot desperately needs to, at the very least, take this point within their probably next 2 pushes. They have Lucio ult, they have Full Hog, building Coalescence and EMP. Those should be enough to help them take it. Again, there are a few defensive ults on the Real side, though, as well. Beautiful ult management from both teams. Full Hog's going to be popped. A lot of damage coming through. They're going to burst through that Rhine shield. That's a huge defensive tool out of the way, but the Reaper just shreds the Roadhog. Such a direct counter to him. And another beautiful hold from Real.
They are shredding them apart. They can't get it into that third section. That white gate right there is the objective, to try to get that second point and tie it up. And they just can't get the payload there, as they are down to less than a minute left to go.
And it's so frustrating because every time you spend this whole time moving up, you try to get it. But this time they have the EMP. It hits the whole team. A lot of damage coming through. Great follow-up, and it looks like Bigfoot should be able to wipe them and take this point.
They should be able to wipe this out and move the payload and get at least an overtime, as they have scored the second point and have opened up the gate, and they just need to bring the payload right to the end, and they could get their first map win of this series.
And not that far to go, actually, just barely around the corner, which is usually the contest point for once they've taken the second point on Route 66. Looks like the Earth Shadow's going to go through. Coalescence, I hear everyone being popped. Big Deadeye coming through, but the barrier's going to save it. Looks like Bigfoot's going to be able to get the picks, and they should be able to take this offense. Pop it Blizzard for good measure.
They're going to move it down, and they get it in. Bigfoot's got their first map of the series, and it's 2-1.
And that's got to be a huge confidence booster if you're Bigfoot. You're able to get that first map. You're like, okay, guys, we can do this. Take out the jitters for it, and we'll see how it shakes out in map number 4.
As a confidence booster right there for Bigfoot. And they turned it around in that map. They continued to persist and push that payload down after a defense, after the defense, even though they're getting just in shredded there from Real's ultimates, and they gotta find a way to dodge those or get out of there. As we are gonna move into map number 4, and Bigfoot could tie this up and force map 5.
Looks like Hanamura is going to be the map for the next one. This time we have a double capture point one. Hanamura can be brutal with those choke points, especially on that first one. It might come down to whoever manages to break through it first.
Traveling to
So they're
Hanamura.
going to put that first map in, and they're going to move in for map number 4. Bigfoot's looking to send in this to map 5 and give themselves a chance at the reverse sweep.
That would certainly be an accomplishment if they can pull it off. We're going to load into the beautiful snowy Japanese landscape here. Both teams getting ready. Looks like this time
Just answer a quick question in the chat. Walden 3 is playing Watoma in the other Division 3 Overwatch semifinal.
For those of you that are just kind of filing into, please a reminder, if you are not an active player in the current matchup, please do not be in the competitive rooms. Do not be a distraction.
I wish I brought my stick and pad. I'm sure I could have found a pickup game here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mike. And we are going to move in as we got 15 seconds left before the assault begins here for Real. The Real School is going to be assaulting first, and then it's going to be Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot on the defense. Looks like Real's electing to go with the Junkrat Doomfist combo for their DPS. Doomfist is super good at getting into that backline, causing chaos, can potentially break through this first choke point of Hanamura, and then of course Junkrat for the spam on the barriers as well. We'll see if the May wall though is able to prevent any of that from happening on the Bigfoot side. Just a bit of pleasantries being exchanged so far. Just trying to build that ult charge on both teams.
They're trying to make a little bit of pleasantries to try to push the objective down, and they're going to begin their defense, and it is working somewhat well for here for Bigfoot. They're holding the objective active, but right now this could be trouble here, and it seems like they got teleport bot taken out, and there's one taken out. There's two. Ew, big push here from the Real School. Make that 3. And it is 4 on 3, make that 3 on 3, and they're going to start taking the objective alpha.
Good Earth Shatter though, comboed into just that Orisa spam to try and prevent that from happening on Bigfoot's side. Pretty even exchanges going through from both teams, pretty even ults built up as well. Nothing really changing for the status quo. They do have that Supercharger and Coalescence available on Bigfoot's side, which when funneled through such a narrow choke point can be just so much healing and damage from the Moira.
He's going to push out so well that they're going to be able to do this as they continue to make their second push. Right now, they're holding on to with 2 ultimates. They're going to use one up here. Another's online. They're going to take a Rock is going to be down on health, and they are pushing hard. Right here on the contest control, they're going to be able to heal back up, and the push is going to be holded in by Bigfoot.
I'm in disbelief that nobody died in that whole exchange. That was a lot of spam coming through from both sides. Huge damage, but the healers just doing their job super well. Looks like that Blizzard's going to be popped. That's such a rough ultimate to deal with. They're all frozen. Let's see if Bigfoot's able to clean it up. Not quite. A lot of return damage coming in, and Real's going to survive that ultimate. Not a lot of usage being gained from Bigfoot's side out of the Blizzard. They do have Riptire though, and Junkrat's on a flank. See if he's able
Big
to
survival
do
there,
this.
right there. But they can't get anything going here. Bigfoot's putting together a defense that we haven't seen earlier in the game, but we've seen them really pick that up in the second half of this series.
I think Bigfoot's illustrating just actually how difficult it is to even, for starters, break through this Hanamura choke point, but then once you do, to take the capture point after such a thing. You can just see the Symmetra turrets and the Coalescence burning through that Reinhardt's health, but they have made it through the initial choke point. Now there's the actual contest. Hammer down going to come through, not a ton of connect. Bigfoot's going to get a couple picks, but the huge Riptire coming in from Real. Singer on the Junkrat massive plays. We'll see if that'll allow them just the space they need to take this control point. A lot of exchange back and forth, people respawning. That'll give the defenders a distinct
Alright,
advantage.
can the real school capitalize on this? They're trying to get something. Oh!
And the Orissa's gonna win out in that 1v1 versus the Moira. Looks like Real should be able to take it. There is a Hammond coming through for the contest though. We'll see how the respawns trickle in.
They got the contest on there. 6 on 2, make that 5 on 1. They got a trap. 10 seconds left to go. They got to get the points in. And they are not going to, they're going to be able to get the rest of this. And they are just going to get enough just in time to get the first point. And they're going to move in on objective beta.
Right as time was running out, Real manages to break through. Again, another tough control point to break into on the second point on Hanamura. Not quite as brutal as that first initial choke point, but still a lot of avenues to worry about. Pretty difficult to actually get on that open area in the center where you can just get spammed out from so many positions. Electing to go on the side though. But again, it's going to come through from the Ryan, Orisa, or actually Lucio, who's going to knock 2 people off the map. That is huge.
Trying to get some of the attack going there. They got the 4 ultimates that they are holding that they could use to try to make a big push and at least get part of that objective. And maybe if it works out perfectly, they could get all of it.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to work with here on the Real side. Electing to go up top, they know they have the ult advantage. They should be able to just cascade down on that point. Fire Strike very nearly taking out that Moira, but she's got the orbs behind here. If they're able to break through, might see some
holds up there, got 4 ready to go, and they are into the objective, and they're going to be using them up. They're ready to go.
Maywall's so annoying to deal with, preventing a lot of that damage coming through. The ultimates are going through on both sides. The Blizzard's huge. Bigfoot's going to be able to stave off that push, that defensive / offensive ult with May. Absolutely brutal to deal with if you're caught in the middle of it.
They blew away that attack. Did not work out for the Real School, and that is going to be difficult for them to try to be able to get back into this.
Especially considering they committed so many ultimates and so many resources and so much time getting in position up top for that. That's a lot of time wasted. That's a lot of ult charge that you have to earn back for it. And then now they're suddenly at the disadvantage for ults compared to Bigfoot.
Yeah, now it's going to be pretty big that they're going to try to get something going, especially with that defense having an advantage now after taking out that first attack. And now something's going to have to go quickly well if they're going to get anything going here for the Real School.
Double kill coming through from the Orisa. Not even any ultimates being popped, nor a coordinated push. That is not what you want to see if you're Real, especially with only 30 seconds left to try and take this point. It's going to be one last push. It's going to be one last contest. Probably all ultimates are going to be popped, and we'll see who can come out on top of that giant skirmish.
Yeah, they're going to try to move in. They got to move in quickly. They got one last shot to be able to get in and get the second. They're going to be using up everything they got. We're going to go into overtime. 2 on 3. They got to keep 1 in there or it's going to tick down. Oh, they got 3 left to go. They're trying to keep the contest, but Bigfoot's got control of it. Overtime's going to tick down, and Real's only going to get 1.
All right. You got to feel pretty happy about that. If you're Bigfoot, you only have to for sure get the first point. Did they get a single tick? I wasn't able to tell.
They only got 1 point and no capture progress on that second objective.
That's brutal. That means for Bigfoot, they only have to stay on the point for 1/3 of the normal amount of time that it would have to be. But first things first, they have to break through that first choke point, which, as we saw from Real's side, can be absolutely incredibly difficult to try and do. We'll see what Bigfoot's going to bring to the table to try and push through that.
They're going to have to break out that first objective. They got to get that goal going as they're assembling the heroes for Bigfoot's attack. And they're going to need to get to that first objective first, getting to objective alpha, and then moving on to that beta to try to tie the series up. And then we go into the decisive match 5.
And this time we're going to see a bit of a swap. We're going to see the May on offense and the Bastion on defense, and we'll see how that can work out for him. Bastion can be pretty nasty again with all that spam coming through such a narrow area, but May can be super good at just walling him off, making him irrelevant to the fight and zoning off members of the team. Just waiting while Real sets up their defenses.
And Drew, that's 10 seconds left to go. Oh, man, we are about to march in. The attack is bent again, and we are in for the second half of map number 4. Okay, good jumping motions. Gotta be a little bit faster. Sure. They have already got the attack moved in. They got part of the capture already. As they are shredding for the Real defense. They are holding it. Now they're holding it down. They got there a little bit faster. Aster got the contest 4 on 3. And right now, Bigfoot's got some momentum going as they try to keep this contested.
Incredibly aggressive, fast pace coming up from Bigfoot. The hammer down is going to connect, but there's nothing going to be able to be got from it. He is going to get picked off, and that will be an immediate first capture point from Bigfoot.
They're going to get that immediate capture right there. That is the first one taken. And that was done real quick. They got 6 minutes to get that second objective. And it took Real almost twice that time just to even get the first.
6 minutes is an eternity in Overwatch time. We'll see what they're able to do with it. A lot of different strategies they could try out. Electing to go up top first. Looks like they're going to be able to, never mind, I take it back. May's going to wall off that narrow entrance. So annoying to deal with. The symmetric turrets coming through as well. Bit of picks being exchanged on both sides. Oh, the freeze into the Rhine charge. Beautiful hold from Real coming through. Looks like they're going to be able to stave off this first push.
Trying to get something together. That damage really was piling on for Bigfoot, and that did not work out for them. They still got lots of time. They got several tries to get this the second objective and tie this series. How they're going to have to try to see how their composition is going to work out. Is this more of a standard composition for these teams?
I would say so, especially after the recent nerfs to barriers, and you got that buff to Reinhardt's speed while he had his open. They're going to have so many ultimate grades shatter into Blizzard. There should be no way that Real is able to survive this. They only have the supercharger and a shatter of their own. You can already see just so much CC, even the sound barrier for good measure. Looks like Bigfoot's going to be able to clean it up, trying to deal with this pesky Lucio, and they're going to do it, and they're going to take that map away from Real. They have tied up the series.
And that is a huge confidence boost right there. That is incredible that they got that. And now it's back on the Real foot's end to be able to regain that confidence for the final map. And this is a series, huge series here.
Certainly is, and you got to start to feel the pressure now if you're on the Real side. You are up 2-0, and all of a sudden Bigfoot has managed to take it back away from you, and it's all down to this final map. We'll see what both teams are able to accomplish on it, see what they're able to pull out, able to dig down when it really matters.
Let's see how that plays out as we're moving on to match number 5. Winner take all, and they're going to move it into the Division 3 Overwatch Finals for the winner to take on the winner between Walden 3 and Watoma High Schools. This should be good. How do you think both teams are going to be able to try to win this final map?
I think with Lijiang Tower, if that's the map it's going to be down to who gets control of that point first. We saw with Ilios on another capture or a King of the Hill map. Real got ahead real early, and while Bigfoot was able to swap control to their side once, it was already too far in the capture progress in Real's side, so I think it's going to come down to that first fight.
And it's going to come down, they're going to have to use that first fight to use that correctly. And how do you win that first fight?
I think Bigfoot showed us how to do it on Hanamura right there. You just got to go aggressive, get a nice Symmetra teleport into the point, get behind, pick off some like a support or something, and then you have that advantage and you can just snowball that ahead and take control. It is going to be Oasis, though, actually.
Welcome.
Any predictions of who you think is going to win this final match? Putting you on the spot.
Fighting match.
I think it's going to be Bigfoot. I think they have the momentum. I think they're going to take it.
This should be pretty interesting. Who do you guys think is going to win this final match? Bigfoot or Real?
Oh,
Looks like it's a real crowd actually
heavily
out here.
real from the crowd. We'll see which one can actually take it.
All right, this should be a good match. Match right here. This is the control of an objective. They are going for one objective, and they're trying to see who gets control of that objective first. And they're going to be doing 2 sets of those. If you win both, they are the winner. You move on to the Division 3. If it's tied at 1 apiece, we're going to a final third overtime winner-take-all map. And the attack is about to begin here for in game number 5.
And these King of the Hill maps are slightly different from the other one, where one team is designated for defense and the other for offense. In this one, both teams will be both offense and defense. Their objective is to take and hold that center point in the middle of the map, get that progress up to 100% on it, and the first team to do so and clear out the other team from it will be victorious.
As we have already got a contest on this objective, and the objective is going to unlock in 5 seconds. And that was going to unlock it, and we got a contested already on the map, and it is right now in favor of actually no one. This is actually quite even.
We already see how the Doomfist is working out those so many walls that he can punch into for pretty much any direction. On this point, it already taken up, and the Crew should be back by now. Just a lot of slapping back and forth going on through the teams. Ultimate is being built. He's going to immediately pop that Meteor Strike. Going to get a Sentry, and then immediately the Reinhardt with it. Doomfist doing it all for real here. Bigfoot's being picked off left and right.
It's going to work out well for the Real School, and they are going to get on to that first objective. Here, and they are moving up. They got about 10% at now, and now that first fight went in favor of the Real School, and that is huge.
And that's exactly what we had seen on Ilios back all the way to the first map. They were able to take that early advantage on the point, and they were able to close out that map. We'll see if they're able to do the same. Symmetra all going through to get Bigfoot safely onto the point. See, they might pop that sound barrier. They have the grab. Gonna get all 5 people. Reaper's gonna sneak out of there. But then just the return ults are brutal on the side of Real. Excellent hold to survive through that grab, John.
Yeah, we're gonna see how that plays this out. Continuing, the Real School's moving in. We're gonna have to see how Bigfoot plays this out. They did quite well. They have the confidence. They have the momentum. But right now that is shifting quickly, and they gotta turn that around.
Looks like they're going to pull out the McCree again. Looks to be a bit of a comfort pick for them. Can be kind of hard to get through all the barriers, but the Earth Shadow is going to come out immediately. A lot of damage coming through. He's able to pick off that Doomfist as long as he doesn't get smacked into a wall. We'll see when the Deadeye comes out. He's going to pop it, but the Reaper's going to shut it down, and Real's going to hold the point. Nothing being done from Bigfoot, just their supports left being picked off. And another hold, just maintaining control from Real.
As maintaining control, they have a couple of those ultimates ready to go, and this should be working well to get it going as we are moving into 90%, and they gotta get an attack going quickly.
Sound barrier being popped prematurely, as well as Coalescence, just to get some survivability to get onto the point, deal with this damage coming through from the Doomfist. Not a lot of people dying, except right there, Doomfist gonna take another one out. And it's just going to be Real holding the point. Smacks the Moira for good measure. McCree's gone, and that should be the map for Real.
And that should be it. And the objective is secured. And the control, that was dominating. And that's what we saw in the first map. And it seems like Real has the control over control.
They certainly do. We'll see if they're able to maintain that on the second point, or second stage rather, of Oasis. Looks like
how they could
Bigfoot's
do
gonna-
that. They did quite well with their attack. Now we're gonna see how well they can do with their defense. And right now, it looked on point.
It looks like Bigfoot this time around is going to go for a comp where they just instantly get on that point and they just hold on it. They have that Symmetra and Lucio, speed them up, teleport them in, and then they're just going to sit there with the Hog and the Rhine, Maywall off, try and prevent Real from even getting on. But even then, they're still on the point. Maywall's going to come through zone slightly. And the charge is going to connect on the enemy Rhine. Looks like Bigfoot's able to take control of the point. See if they're able to cap it as soon as it unlocks.
So yeah, they cast this out as the point is unlocked, and Bigfoot's got the control, and they are doing well.
Certainly they got that initial cap on the point. We'll see if so far the trend of initial cap is able to translate to them winning this stage. So far it's proven true for Real. Bigfoot hasn't really been in this situation before. They're going to bring out the Pharah to try and deal with this May Symmetra. Not a lot of range on him. Very hard to hit those Isotools on the Pharah when she's dipping and dodging. Well, there's spam coming through. Not a ton of ultimates available yet. We do have an Earth Shatter available on the Bigfoot side. Batiste Amplification Matrix on Real, which is going to be popped actually in response to the Earth Shatter. But Real's going to sweep them. A lot of damage coming through from that Batiste ult.
Alright, we're going to see how they'll play this out, and they're going to be able to take their first control and get that first play out and try to gain back some of that lost momentum that Bigfoot had, and they have had some good momentum. Let's see if that can switch that around.
Yeah, they didn't even reach 50% on their initial contest either, so even if they manage to take it back, we'll see if they're even able to hold it for longer. Symmetra all getting popped though. But just a lot of Pharah spam coming through, and they can't even break through the choke onto the point. Very staggered. A lot of ults being built up on Real's side, and it looks like they're going to be able to slowly take out Bigfoot. A couple of them respawning, keeping the contest up though. We'll see if they're able to keep trickling in here.
There's a big play. They knocked out a couple right there. There's an ultimate just came up for the Real School, and now they have taken the lead on the control of this objective, and they're pushing their way to the Overwatch finals for Division 3.
Yeah, 3 ults available on Bigfoot's side. They do have that Blizzard and Shatter and Whole Hog, which when combined can wipe a whole team. Pretty much going to come down to if the return Shatter from Real's side is good. Blizzard's going to be popped, going to do that damage. There's the Whole Hog into this tiny room. There's nowhere to hide. Batista's going to get taken out, shoved off the point too well for good measure, and it should be Bigfoot retaking control of this objective.
That is good to retake that control. They have that ready to go. Oh, but the problem is 4 ultimates on the side of Real.
How do you deal with that if you're Bigfoot? It's a scary proposition to try and go up against, especially with the Pharah all combined with the Earth Shatter, let alone all the extra damage coming in from both Batiste and Orisa.
They're going to have a lot of extra damage. There's a shot played off.
It looks like the Roadhog was able to hook someone off the cliff with him as he
Oh my goodness! They took out all 6 of those plays! What a play there for Real!
And neither team just wants to give it up. They didn't even burn all their ultimates on Real's side. They still have 4 ultimates to hold this point. Into the 2, maybe 3 coming up from Bigfoot's side. And now things are looking real dicey if you're Bigfoot. How are they going to break into this point? How can you get through the sound barrier and the supercharger in addition to flying this one?
It is just on point. One last chance for Bigfoot to try to get this, and now they have to take this objective. And they're trying to do everything they can. They're going down quickly. And the overtime is going to go in. Real High School is moving on to the Division 3 finals.
Potentially, you've got to deal with this.
Potentially, no, they're still going.
They're still contesting.
Still contested. They're throwing everything they can.
And
they can't get it. Real High School is indeed moving on to the Division 3 finals.
Congrats to Real. What a match. They managed to take it back after losing initial control of the point. Well played. Good series. Congrats to Real.